Hi everybody. All right. First of all, yeah, I'm wearing the fangs. Felt like it, so I am. Uh, if you've been keeping up with everything, I've got a girlfriend, and I'm very happy about that. And there will be videos about that, and her, and everything else. But there was also an event that happened, and I want to talk about that first. See, during that weekend, I got really sick. And Reyna was nice enough to stay with me the whole time, which is wonderful. But I actually ended up having to go to the hospital. Long story short, it turned out that I had an infection. And I'm honest about everything, so I'll tell you. It was in ahem, as a friend of mine would say, the crotchular region. It wasn't a UTI, and it wasn't anything I could control one way or another. That type of infection just happens, and it only happens to people with something called a vas deferens. That's the tubes for the boys. They carry your little swimmers if you have them. And while the boys, are pretty much comatose nowadays, they're still there. And this type of infection is incredibly painful. It it's inside there, and it causes swelling. So it's kind of like being kicked in Jimmy, and then they don't stop. The kick just keeps going. The one kick just keeps going on and on and on, and it gets worse until finally you're screaming in agony. And throughout all this, like I said, Reyna was there with me, and that was really wonderful. But I had to go to a local hospital, and I'll call them out because I want to at least get the word out a little bit that Lakewood Hospital is crap to trans people. First of all, just in general, what an awful, awful hospital emergency room. They ran it so badly. The whole thing took, I think, 6 hours for what should have been in the end maybe 2, maybe 3 to get done with paperwork and everything, because there's no one there. It was not like they were busy. It was that they're doing crap. They weren't doing crap. And I found out some things about my ID and things that Social Security didn't bother changing my name except on the damn card. So on the books, I'm still under another name. And even though I'm officially changed, it means I can't access anything from the federal government because they see a different name. Despite everything, despite all the work I've done, despite telling them several times through several different agencies. Nope. But so the hospital, while I'm in pain and in the emergency room, actually had people come in to ask me questions for my paperwork. Now, I was barely coherent. And, to be blunt, when you're trans, especially, I don't know how it is for a trans man. I'm assuming it's similar. But I know that as a trans woman, the last thing I wanted to be was outed by an infection that only happens to genetic men. And there I am in the hospital, and they have to go and look. There's a doctor that has to go look. And I'm in a gown, and I don't want anyone to see that. I'm a woman, and I don't like people to judge me by my parts, and when the parts are right there, people judge. So, after all that, the doctor comes in, and I was scared and in a lot of pain and highly embarrassed. And he, like, when he lifted the, thing up, and I yelped because I was terrified of the pain, how much it would hurt, and because I was embarrassed. And he gave me a speech about that. And, well, when he reached down there to check, everything flashed white, as in, like, I could not see a damn thing. I mean, like, everything was gone, and I screamed bloody murder. Didn't want to. I wasn't expecting that much pain. I've never in my whole life had that much pain. That was just unbelievable. And people who know me know I can endure a lot of pain. But that was just beyond anything. And the doctor criticized me, telling me how, I barely touched you, why are you screaming? To which I said, and presumably I cursed, I don't know. I said something along the lines of, because it hurts. Why else would you be screaming? And here's the part that is very upsetting. He manhandled my areas to check. Incredibly painful and very rough. And for all of 2 seconds. As in, thank you, phone. That was the girlfriend. I'll get back to her in a moment. But all that and just nothing. Like 2 minutes, and he peeled off his gloves like he was disgusted and walked away, and mentioned, as with his back turned, "Oh, I'll have someone come and I'll tell you what's going on with your and I'll say the word, your testicle." And he was obviously disgusted and didn't consider me either a woman or a man. It was really, really embarrassing. Then had the ultrasound to find out what it was, because there was a chance it was torsion, and almost hoped it was, because that means they have to remove the boys. Sadly, it wasn't. And so they leave me in the room where you get the ultrasound for an hour and a half. Just leave me there. Unable to move. In terrible pain. And only one pain med that hadn't kicked in. And in the end, they gave me antibiotics and really didn't tell me anything about what it was. And they didn't even have me sign all the paperwork. And finally, the worst part about it was, well, except for the doctor, was my band. They were like, well, what are you legally, what are you? Not legally what gender, what gender are you identified as? Just what are you? And so I had to explain that my gender marker is female, but on my birth certificate, which I haven't changed, I don't know if I will. It's still registers me as male. And so they decided that meant I was legally male, and it said so on my identification bracelet on my wrist, which is also damn humiliating. They treat me like crap, and that is something that unfortunately trans people have to worry about. I don't know why exactly I'm bringing this one up, but I just wanted to get it out there and finally vent it, be done with it. You all have stories like that, I think, or we get them eventually. But you get through it, and life goes on. You get the word out what little you can, or how much you can. and you find the girl of your dreams and fall in love. So, you know, and she's willing to hold your hand throughout all of that 6 hours. Well, so yeah, pain in the ass, but it's done, and I'm glad to just get it out. And now we can talk about Reyna without any particular difficulties. Until later, I love you all. I love my girl. Love my life. And bye.